Welcome back to Roll Incorporated. You might notice something a little bit different about tonight's setup. There's no DM. That's because tonight was originally supposed to be a recorded episode that we made on Sunday. However, the computer gods may have ate the audio. So we've decided to try a little something different just for this session to make up for it. Before I get to that, though, I wanted to mention that we are officially at 102 followers. So we made our 100 follower goal, which is amazing. And now we're going to be able to do so many more cool things on Twitch for you in our next live stream next week on July 15th. So without further ado, last time we left you on a little bit of a cliffhanger, trapped in the God's Inn, face down by two spectral figures. What you're about to watch is the aftermath of what happened to our characters as they deal with what happened. Some of our players will be taking over as a few different NPCs for the others to interact with in lieu of a DM. But I know I'm excited to roleplay together and just roleplay our little hearts out. So smash that follow button, share the stream with your friends, and settle in for a very special episode.
My dear Anthony, I received your note stating that you were indisposed, so I'm writing you this letter to report what we found on our mission to God's Inn. After we last spoke, our party took a day to research the God's Inn and any potential ghostly activity we might encounter before setting off to see what we could find while Rose seemed to be away. When we arrived, we found that she had left an entourage to watch the entrance to the tomb so they could inform Rose of anyone who entered. Deciding not to waste time, we entered anyways. Inside, we found a number of strange things. Firstly, the clothes of goblins from Rosen's entourage who had been sent inside, and of the missing watchers we'd been sent to find. There we found a letter they had written, which attempted to explain some of what happened to them, but really only served to raise more questions. Namely, the fact that there are evidently 7 gods instead of just 4. There was a book which, when asked a question, seemed to transcribe answers from 6 of these 7 gods, all of whom with names I've never heard before. A few of the other members asked questions of it, but I did not. It seemed untrustworthy at best, and I did not want to hear it tell us of supposed impending doom. We made to leave, and just as we made our way out, we were stopped.
Excuse me? You're Alice, right? I'm supposed to report to you about my last mission?
Ah, yes. I'm the head of the DMV, Department of Mortality Victims.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure which paperwork to fill out.
Well, if it was an interaction with ghosts, it's Form 304A. If it was an undead attack, it's Form 457T. If it was...
Okay. Can I just explain what happened, and then you tell me what to fill out?
Sure, go ahead and explain.
Okay, so there were we were in this temple, and there's these 2 ghosts that just appeared out of nowhere. One of them was this, like, small guy, probably a halfling. He was wearing, like, pots and pans all over himself. It was some kind of armor. He called himself Flynn. The other one was this little goblin. Said his name was Kenny. And one of them, they talked to us. One of them said, well, he didn't say it, but it seemed like one of them would believe everything we said, and one of them thought everything we said was a lie. The goblin thought everything we said was a lie and was a little bit more violent than the pot man. Anyway, they said they didn't want us to take anything from the inn, so they said we couldn't leave, me and some companions. We had a paper. It had the 2 specters' names on it, and that's what they didn't want us to take out. So we told them that we would take it out, and it was just us trying to, like, I don't know, trick them into letting us go.
Do you still have that paper?
No, they ended up getting violent after we said some things that pissed them off, and we ended up in... Yeah. It ended up that one of the people just entered combat, and we killed them, and they are gone. So what do I fill out?
Oh, we'll worry about that after lunch.
Yeah.
Arthur, Dad, I'm home.
Clara? Is that... Clara!
Hi,
Where have
Dad.
you been? Clara!
It's it's
what
been
happened?
4
Look
days.
at
I
you.
know. It's
What happened
the bruises
to you?
aren't bad. It's fine.
What you're doing to your father?
I sent a message. I said that I'd be back soon.
You sent 5 words. You've gone for 4 days. Where have you
You
been?
only let me send 5 words. Okay, it's a long story, but I took that job with Herd and Olivia to help raise some money for Mom's Fine. It was for that advisor, so it's totally legal, 100% above board. We just went to the God's Inn. I've never gotten to go there, but there were
But
some.
your face. You've
Oh,
got...
yeah.
What happened? You've got bruises everywhere.
There may have been some ghosts that tried to stop us from leaving. But Herd and Olivia were there with 2 of our coworkers, Magda and Kaden. They were great. They were really having a hard time of it, though. I may have had to rewind time for them twice, and it didn't really work out. And I mean, they were ghosts, so Olivia couldn't really hit them as hard as she wanted to, and Herd didn't even get a chance to because he got possessed. But don't worry, I knocked him out with a sleep spell, so he couldn't attack us. And really, we handled ourselves really well despite all the injuries.
Look, I did not pay for your magic schooling so that you could go off and get yourself killed somewhere. I've been running around. The shop has been closed for 2 days while I've been trying to find out if anyone knew where you were. And you're so good at helping me with creating these things. Why do you need to go on these adventures? Just stay here with me, please. You're getting hurt. Look at your face.
It's not that bad. Honestly, it really wasn't that bad. I mean, at a certain point, I couldn't cast any spells, but it didn't really matter because I got possessed.
You got...
It's
Clarabelle?
fine. Dad, it's fine. Look, I'm not possessed anymore, obviously. Olivia may have punched me in the face a lot, but I was apparently really good at dodging when I'm not in control of my body. So, Olivia and Herd and Magda and Caden may have had to help remove the ghosts, and it took them a little bit of time to knock me out, but it's fine.
Knock you out.
Yeah, Herd healed me. It's fine. I'm okay.
Thank the gods he was there.
Yeah, and he managed to smash the thing to pieces. So we're safe. It's all fine, really. And I know I'm not really good at fighting. It's probably better that I got possessed. Honestly, could barely even hit anything. I'm not as good as Olivia or Herd or Magda or Caden.
Clarabelle, your power is in that power you wield these days. Were you effective in your spells?
Yeah, I did rewind time. I tried to help Olivia. It didn't work out so well. And I tried to help Herd too. I managed to get it back, but that didn't. He didn't really get a chance to use it, and then I couldn't really do much else. But Kafka helped. So find familiar. It's great. I was able to do that at least. I didn't get too hurt. And I'm back safely, and we're gonna have some time together before we go off on our next job. And it's all fine. I'm just working. I don't want to actually take over the shop right away. I want to adventure a little bit.
I don't understand it. I don't understand this. It's your mother's blood, guaranteed, because that's not me. I think...
I mean,
Look,
I'm both of you.
we are going to continue talking.
I'm I'm actually really tired and there's a customer.
We are going to talk about this. I am going to go help them. We are talking about this soon.
All right.
Heard. Stop talking about your sisters. I'm your therapist. Please, after you left the God's Inn, what happened?
Okay. So we left the God's Inn, and of course, the bugbear from earlier and the group of goblins that was with it, they're waiting for us. And they were working with Rose, the champion of Oler Dune. Not a person I want to screw around with. None of us. And so they started asking us some questions, and one thing led to another, and that we got them to believe us that we didn't actually communicate, with the gods or what have you. But we told them that we went in there into the temple or the God's Inn, and we fought some ghosts, and we just turned around and left. And they seemed to buy it, so that was good. But they told us that Rose was teleporting in 10 minutes to talk to us. Now, talk to us, that sounds like an interrogation from the champion of Oler Dune. That is not a scenario we wanted to be in. So I can't remember who it was. Was it Caden or Magda? But somebody said, "Oh, hey, we should just go over here and freshen up down by the river, by the tree line." And it actually worked. We got to leave, but they sent a goblin with us just to kind of like oversee, like to make sure that we weren't going to flee or something like that, which we were totally going to flee. So we had this goblin with us, and we had to ditch it. Now, I came up with the idea. I hid behind a tree very sneakily, and I started tying my rope into knots into like a ball gag, and I snuck up behind it, and I put it around his mouth so it couldn't talk, it couldn't scream, it couldn't cry out for help, and I tied it up real quick, and I took a step back to look at my great work, and like it was nothing, the rest of the party came up with their shanks and started shanking it right in the spleen. Like, they killed it. They killed the goblin. I mean, that goblin probably had a family. It was probably a father to, little Jimmy Goblin who is going to grow up without a father. It was terrible. I can't believe these are the people I'm traveling with. Anyway, we left. Immediately after that, we put the body in the stream, and we left. And we went back to the town. We barely escaped, but we did. I just feel so bad. I mean, we are murderers.
What?
This is all confidential, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think we should talk about you. Is this something you'd normally do?
Oh, no. I can't believe it. I'm a murderer. What? I'm doing this. I joined this adventuring party so I could, be with my sisters and spend more time with them, and, raise enough money to potentially free my mother from the mines. She's essentially a slave, but at what cost? At what cost?
You know what? That's our time, Herd. We can continue this next week. I feel better.
So, that is all that happened. I look forward to meeting you at our appointment next week. The rest of the party will be here at the apartment waiting for you too. I hope you'll be able to shed some light on what we witnessed. With all my love, your dearest Magda. All right, Caden, finish the letter. Will you come send it off?
Absolutely. Yeah, you got it ready?
Yep, here you go.
I'm supposed to drop it off to, I don't know, he gave me the coordinates. Yeah, meet with
Darren is fine.
Darren. Okay.
Well,
did you tell him everything in here?
what I thought was important. I mean, I figure, the 7 gods and Rose and, sneaking away. And, we have the letter from the mine, or from the tomb, sorry. So, we can provide that. I didn't feel like putting it in the letter in case it's, intercepted, but
right.
I have it. So
how do you feel about Anthony putting us with this family? this
really
oddball of a family.
I really how do they exist? I mean, I know the mother.
I'm not,
but
I don't. Do we? Look, we've got the Rook apparently looking for us, and these 3 are not exactly what I would call under the radar people. I'm not.
I mean, we may have Rose looking after us too.
Yeah.
Someone.
I don't. I guess, like, are we committed to staying at this with Anthony's direction right now?
I don't know, honestly. I mean, I don't know. I want more information. What we saw in the tomb was... What do you think about it? I can sit here and talk all day, but really, what do you think about it?
Don't mind admitting to you that I'm scared. Look, it's been what how do you deal with this thing that's inside you now? I can feel it under my skin, but I don't know how to do what you're doing. I can't even think of Anthony or these people, like these people around us, this family and Anthony and the Rook and the God's Inn. It's just noise in my head at the moment as I try to think about what's going on inside me. It's like it's literally under my skin, and I don't know what to do with it. I know I sound angry. You had a month to work with this. Anthony came to me literally 2 days before we left for the inn, and I can feel it crackling under my skin, and I don't know what to do with it. I haven't been able to use it. Where do I start? How did you figure this out? Like, what you've been doing things at the inn, the magic, I don't understand it.
Honestly, I don't really understand it. I mean, I can shoot things from my palms. I can make this armor, but I don't really understand it. It just comes out. It's like, you remember when the collar came off and it just kind of like surged out of you. I just tried to do that again, and it turned into something. And then I mean, the only way I can think of it is magic is all about actualizing what you want to happen. So I thought, I want to hurt that person over there. So, it just came out.
Do you feel a connection to Anthony when you do it, or is it to something else, or is it?
I don't know. This is all I really know is that I can see the weave for the first time. I can reach out and touch it just a little bit, like we had to do when we were kids. It finally happened. Listen,
I've never seen it happen.
This week, let's go out and practice. And we'll find some place that's quiet and secluded, and we'll just kind of futz around with it a bit. See what happens.
That frost armor thing you did was... Maybe we start with that? That seemed...
Of course, anything.
Seemed helpful.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry, I'm I've been a little
sorry.
on edge. No, that's fine. Sorry.
No, you have every right to be. I am too. We're going to have to decide where we're going to put our trust and our allegiance. I don't trust Anthony as far as I can throw him. I mean, let me make that clear, but we obviously have to act like we do because...
Contracts.
Places to stay, money. Yeah.
Okay.
This family, though.
They have their moments.
They have their moments. They are certainly useful. I think trust is a two-way street. If we want them to trust us, we're going to have to offer a little bit ourselves. Probably not everything, but some. And with the rook potentially breathing down our necks, it may be time to start being a little bit more honest with them. Nothing too serious, but
You're probably right. You're probably right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay.
Who knows? I mean, this Clara girl, she seems very skilled in magic. Perhaps she has things that she can teach us.
If it's a learning thing, I'll study any book. But I don't think that explains how my arm is like it's electricity under it, and I don't understand it.
How is it? Do you still have the tattoo?
Yeah, it's there. It's weird. It's the only color one on me. But it's still there. It's almost, I don't know. There's something different about it, and I don't understand. But maybe we can look at it this week.
There is far too much we don't understand. We'll play Anthony's game for a while longer, but we need to start digging for answers of our own. That may even include, I know we were banking on staying in this place, but I'm getting a little uneasy, and it might be better if we had our own home to stay in that he can't dangle over our heads.
Good idea. Sorry, I'll go take this letter.
Apologize. Safe travels. Watch your back.
I'll be back soon. They're here.
All right.
I'll go get the door.
Yeah.
Welcome. Glad to see all of you.
Lovely to see you not in a dank tomb where we all got... Yeah, it's great.
How are you feeling for that? Injuries?
Bit better, really.
Mm-hmm.
Your bruises are healing up.
Yes, it's much nicer, especially since all of you got a shot, and it's fine.
I'm sorry about that.
You got yourself possessed. Anyway,
There are also psychological scars.
Psychological scars.
I
from
mean, I don't know about you guys, but let me ask: did you think that anything that happened there was kind of screwed up? Like, you maybe would have done it differently if we were, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Are you referring to the goblin?
I'm referring to the goblin that we murdered.
That was
It was
If we didn't kill him, then we might have gotten caught by Rose. And I don't think any of us wanted that to happen.
It was like a self-defense kind of thing.
Well, I don't... Preemptive self-defense, maybe?
Yeah, it was self-defense, certainly.
He was tied up, guys.
I don't think he felt anything.
Yeah.
I think he was just gagged. I don't think it was...
It kind of all happened at once.
Caught
Yeah.
in crossfire.
What's important is we're all fine. We all made it back. And it's... Look, we're here. Magda came in this lovely, lovely apartment. It's quite big.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Does
How do you-
Anthony...
How do you
Put your-
afford this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Anthony is the one paying for it. We're just staying here. But come in, sit down, make yourselves comfortable. Would you like snacks? We have, tea, water. Can make some coffee.
Spirits, wine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Tea would be lovely.
Yeah, I'll take
Which
tea.
one?
Oh.
So let's go through the line. I'll have them one by one. I think we started with snacks. If I heard correct, I might be wrong.
Yeah, there is snacks. Yeah, come on. Pull out some dried fruits and some.
Manners.
Look,
We've never been in a place this nice.
Don't worry about
Put on a better face.
And so we should
Describe it.
capitalize it, especially the free shit.
Okay. I'm sorry for my brother. We just haven't seen a lot of nice places like this that are so well stocked and just fancy.
I suppose it is fairly.
you're used to this?
Yeah, this is a little less than what I'm used to, but
Less.
it makes sense.
You grew up rich?
No, I wouldn't say that. No.
You grew up fancy.
Grew up, no. I have lived fancy for many years now, however. What about you, the three of you? What were your childhoods like?
Well,
We
may have spent a lot of it in an attic.
An attic.
Yeah, you know how it is. Actually, you probably don't.
How did you end up in an attic?
Well, our
Our
mother was
mom's-
always... Yeah.
She's a criminal. Yeah. She just stashed us up there so we didn't get in the way.
Yeah, she just kind of left us places while she went off and did her thing. And sometimes that thing was jail. So,
This is the woman you're trying to free right now?
Yes.
I mean, she's still our mom. That has to count for something.
You only get one mother.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
They're a con artist. You just deal with that and deal with what you get.
We're playing the cards we were dealt with.
No, I can understand. Yeah. Yeah.
things are looking up.
Um,
We've got this job, new friends, and we're just we're just trying to get by and everything.
It seems very honorable to want to free her.
So
Said it was a
speaking,
hefty sum, right?
yes,
10,000?
10,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure how we're gonna be able to make that money, but maybe with Anthony's help.
I'll put in whatever good words for you I can.
and it's understandable why I would be suspicious of possible con artists. Like, possibly why you guys have a whole bunch of money you're just giving away for just going to a God's Inn. Like what Anthony's doing. What kind of person
Anthony's
is he?
an advisor.
Yes, but a lot of the stuff, like you guys getting almost kidnapped on a train, doesn't seem like normal advisor business.
Why don't you tell us about that? You know, I feel like you're still keeping some stuff. You are still keeping some stuff from us. It's
How
kind
did
of
you-
a known thing.
How'd you meet Anthony?
All right, well, you're right. We do need to be more honest with you. So, starting with how I met Anthony, well, prior to this, I was a courtesan at the palace, actually.
Oh.
And
Not
Anthony was one of my clients. You, of course, know the palace. It's headed by the Rook.
The place where guys pay for girls.
Yeah.
We've never been there personally, obviously.
It's
actually a little more dynamic than that, but you've got
It
the
is.
gist of it.
It's you have to have a lot of money to afford the girls there. And a lot of influence.
So you and Anthony, how did you go from that to this? That seems like a very different job description. No offense, obviously.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It is a weird story, and honestly one that I don't fully understand yet.
Are you pregnant?
No.
Oh.
Olivia, you
You're
can't just
not
ask that.
supposed to.
It's the easiest explanation. I don't know.
No, it's just
You think he would let her go off on a dangerous mission fighting
He's an
ghosts?
advisor. There. Yeah, I get. Well, maybe he's trying to get rid of her because of that.
No, it's a bit closer to. There was a debt that we had to pay working at the palace. And that debt has been paid. So now we, Caden and I, are off on our own. To an extent.
To an extent, yeah.
Anthony's support.
And Caden, you and Magda worked together?
Not in that sense. He is my assistant bodyguard, not with my actual work, but more like scheduling, transferring information, running errands, that kind of thing.
There's a lot of dangerous people, powerful people who would come to see Magda.
And there's a lot of information that they might let slip in their weaker moments.
And Magda became very good at, it's what she was good at, learning how to extract that information. So sometimes maybe someone needs a particular drink. Someone likes a certain type of sheets, smell in the air, whatever it may be. You can usually make those things happen.
Could help me get the information I got to the right people.
Is that where you learned how to do that magic? I've never seen a spell like that. It was purple and weird. What's that spell called?
I don't know. I don't know if it has a name, actually. The magic is very... I only learned that spell very recently. And you could say it's less of learned and more of it just kind of happened one day.
I mean, sure, but like, have you always? It just happened one day, like out of the blue. I mean,
Yeah,
I know
I,
magic is magic, but I study spells. I have to learn them. Uh, that seems very strange, and I've never even heard of a spell like that.
to be honest, I don't know a whole lot about magic. I mean, beyond the very basics. And I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go. I don't really know what else to say.
Maybe I could help.
Maybe you could. Yeah.
Oh, that K. I have read Wizarding Volume 1 through 15, and I have never been able to do something like that. How can you just, oh, magic? Like, it's not just, it's not easy.
No, it isn't, but it is. I don't know how else to describe it. I genuinely don't. I have very recently only started to make progress, I suppose you could say, with this.
Well, it's fine. Just because, Olivia, just because you can't cast the same kinds of spells doesn't mean that it's not magic. Yeah, maybe we can find some time and I can help you study.
I'd love that. That would be wonderful. I think Caden would appreciate joining in as well.
Oh, you also cast?
He's trying to learn.
Yeah. Trying to learn.
Well, I mean,
expand the skill sets, you know?
Yeah, never too late to start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Clara, where did you said you studied magic, and where did you go to school?
Oh, I went to the Krakeny Academy in the city. Spent most of my time learning at the college there. It's great library, wonderful professors, and then I had my time at the Watch after I graduated. So now I'm kind of figuring it out. Yeah, but the school's great. It's really lovely. I could probably take you to the library there sometime. Can show you the books, show you the campus.
The God's Inn, was that not where we went?
Yes. So you've already gotten to see it, and there's more. That library is huge, and I'm sure like we could find books to help you guys learn some magic. Olivia, you could come along. There's tons of books on all types of different magic.
Perhaps we could all practice together.
Perhaps.
If you and Caden are having similar blocks, maybe it'd be helpful.
And maybe you could work out some of the, I don't know, aggression.
The what?
No, nothing. I'm sure it's fine. It's fine. You just seem a little
aggressive. You seem aggressive.
Heard. Have another hors d'oeuvre.
Who are you referring to, me or to Caden?
I mean, both, really.
The two of you are a little tense together, but I'm not accusing anyone of anything. It's a complex situation, and we have not been the most forthcoming. And I'm sorry for that. What were you saying?
We had some great. Olivia and I may have started off on the wrong foot, but we at the tomb certainly had a few moments where we seemed to be on the same wavelength. And I think with relation to the goblin, with relation to the fight, with relation to escaping, I think we've got a good working relationship now, Olivia, would you say?
I respect you as a fellow soldier, I guess we could say.
That sounds great.
I have never seen her say such a compliment to anyone. You should take that very highly.
Heard, did you have any luck with finding work this week?
No. Well, I kind of went out on a spending spree.
Heard.
I spent it all.
Oh my
what?
god!
What did you spend all the money on?
Oh my gosh!
I
We
did
were
it
gonna
with good
make the money
intentions.
together.
It's not like I gambled it. I didn't gamble all the. I mean, I bought stuff that's
What
going
did
to
you
help us
buy?
in the future. I bought these scrolls. As I look
Oh.
around, you guys are talking about, how you guys cast, know similar schools of magic and whatnot. I'm not like that. I pray to cast my magic, and so being the only one of the party that can have this sort of magic that heals and helps, I thought it would be important that I get some extra of that. And so I bought these scrolls of healing word. 7 of them.
Wow,
Oh.
that's very clever, Herd.
Might seem like a little bit of overkill.
You never know.
The situations we have been thrust into, I disagree.
You know what? That's totally fair.
How much did they cost, Herd? Kate and I can assist.
They
Free ship.
cost 30 gold a piece.
I'll take 2
I'll work
of
something
them,
out.
and I'll hand
Yeah.
them 60 gold.
60 gold. Okay, thanks. I appreciate it.
Of course.
That's very generous, but
Herd,
I'll go buy some of those scrolls too if you guys want to give me 30 gold.
The offer's
Olivia,
passed.
we need the money.
Well, I guess I'll just spend the 100 that I got since Herd spent his.
That's not helping us reach our goal. Okay, next time, I'm handling the money.
The 100 was for each of us. We each went out there. We each fought. We each got hit. I got hit more than. I mean, you got hit by us, but you never got hit by the ghosts. I got hit by the ghosts, and it hurt.
All of you hit me.
You did
were
not
possessed.
get hit by the ghosts.
That is a separate issue entirely.
I did not hit you.
You did.
Heard you thought it. You tried.
No,
You did actually hurt.
I tried. I did try, and I guess that's what counts.
Look, I know I'm
will
not the best
say-
at fighting.
The fact that you put Herd to sleep when he was possessed was very helpful. That club
That
Herd you
was-
wield is pretty wicked looking.
Quite incredible.
Yes.
I would.
And you should see my weapon.
Right.
Heard time, place. We gotta talk about some social skills.
Anyway,
I do have
speaking of,
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just actually have to ask you a question, Caden. I got hit by those ghosts, and it hurt a lot. But you got hit by those ghosts, and you didn't look hurt at all, or at least not as much as I did. And I'm just a little confused on the tactic that you used to avoid that.
You see actually like confusion on Caden's face. Like honestly, like look to Magda.
Meg just similarly like,
I think it just didn't connect with me very well. I mean, I think I know what you're talking about. It reached for me. I saw its hand coming from my chest, and I remember pulling back, and I remember it burned like it was cold in my chest, but I guess it just didn't get me as good as I thought it did.
I'm wearing full plate armor, and it grazed me, and it hurt. And you're not wearing armor, even, or at least just cloth.
I did have my breastplate on at the time, but so maybe that deflected it. I don't know.
it's true. I got hit as well. Hurt a lot.
Couldn't have hit as hard as it did, obviously. I looked bad, I guess. It wasn't so bad.
Maybe you need to teach me a few things because I cannot dodge like that.
Sounds like we're going to be working together for a bit. It's the indication Anthony's made.
Claire is
Work
going to
something
lean
out.
over to her and just be like, that was the most vulnerable Olivia has ever been.
I know, so much emotional advancement. It's crazy, but don't say anything.
These new friends are great.
grab the tea.
Heard. You mentioned you pray to a god. We've had a very unique experience recently. I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but schooling Magda and I had taught us about 4 gods.
Yeah.
Never heard of 7, but we certainly saw 7 tombs, and 6 of them seemed to be speaking to you when you talked to the book. What?
Dude, I am not the guy to ask. I really have no idea what's up with all the gods.
Which one do you worship, by the way?
I actually, so, a funny thing. I don't actually just like worship a god. I kind of worship the concept of war itself. It's a weird. I'm not even sure it's legal in like the whole
war?
religion. What?
Of war?
Yes. So one day I stumbled upon this book, The Art of, the War in Art Form, and I got so deep into it, and I started to read it religiously, and it's kind of like my good book, and I keep it right here on my hip.
I believe I've read that book. And you're concerned about murder.
Yeah, I mean, murder's not good. Sometimes it's necessary, but I question whether or not it was necessary in that scenario.
I see, I suppose.
I think you're digging a little deep.
Are you...
I'm sorry, Heard.
Heard, are you going to be prepared to continue to go out and fight things like this? Are you prepared to kill, if necessary?
If necessary, in my opinion, yes.
We may be stuck in similar situations where it's not the layman's fault that his superior is going to be coming after us, but he is in the way. And the only way to get out is to kill him, regardless of his actual, whether he actually warrants it or not.
So speaking of, we showed our faces there, and
true.
How are we going to continue to go around town with that on our backs?
I think we're gonna have to bring that up to Anthony.
Yes.
And
the rook looking after us, so that's fun.
Yeah. That's that actually brings me a question I had wanted to ask Olivia. You're probably, as a watcher, one of the most public faces here, besides Heard being able to be picked out in a crowd. You're in a government position. I mean,
I technically work for a non-government agency as a government operative. Yes, I am yes.
So how are you feeling about being able to do unscrupulous things moving forward? I mean, I know I saw you take a bribe on that tram, but a bribe is one thing.
Yeah. It's separate from... I guess I'll do whatever's necessary to protect.
Protect.
Yes.
Who?
Protect. Okay, wait, they can hear us, but they can't see it.
Okay.
Oh, I think we're back.
Oh, are we back?
I'm not seeing it yet.
We're back.
Oh, okay. We're back. Sorry about that, everyone. Technical difficulties. But we lost the audio before. Had to lose the video at least once.
Let's.
This whole session has just been an adventure.
Yes.
In feelings, in character development,
in tech.
Yes.
All the world building we can do without the DM here that then he has to stick to.
Oh. Speaking of, Magda.
Yes.
You said you were with Anthony. I'd like to know a little bit about his personality and maybe how he was like beforehand.
He's always been a rather mysterious individual.
How long have you known him?
He's fond of her.
Well, I mean, figured that. No offense.
None taken. Continue. Sorry. Yes, who are you asking?
Do you like him? Are you fond of him other than working for him?
Increasingly less so. He was one of my more pleasant clients prior to this.
Pleasant?
And
pleasant?
No, he was. Sorry.
He's not anymore?
Now that he is assigning us these quests with a little information to go on and little warning of what we are getting ourselves into, it's becoming increasingly more frustrating to have to deal with him, if I'm being honest.
I don't want to ask too personal of a question, but how do you go from Anthony's courtesan to his adventurer?
I just wanted a change of pace. And Anthony liked me well enough to indulge. So.
Well, if you ever want to talk about anything, relationship problems, I'm a very good listener.
Thank you, Herd. But I have a fair amount of experience in dealing with these things.
Was he good in bed?
Olivia, you can't just ask that. He's our boss.
I mean, she said he was pleasant. I'm just wondering.
I don't kiss and tell.
Oh.
He never caused any problems from my point of view.
Oh, you watched?
Your point of view?
Oh.
The palace sounds like a very strange place.
You have no idea.
Yeah, it was certainly something.
Okay, sorry. I was off subject. Speaking of these gods, if we were to stop working with Anthony, are we going to continue pursuing this thing with the gods? What are we doing with this?
I mean, they told us that some of them wanted us to just give everything to Rose and let her deal with it, but does that make us the ones who have to deal with it then if we don't want to give it to Rose?
It seems like such a big decision.
We need more information.
Yeah.
And this is frankly why I am continuing to listen to Anthony's advice and take his quests, is because I don't know where this is going. I need to know more information. I mean, from our perspective, Rose is a torturing sadist, and I can't imagine it's good for someone like that to have a lot of power. But at the same time, she is a god's champion. And the greater, sometimes, good things for the world can come from people who are individually terrible.
Yeah, but
Maybe.
it didn't seem like all the gods, well, the 7 now, seem to be, not to be sacrilegious, above board.
An agreement?
Some of them seemed like, honestly,
Evil.
excuse the language, yeah, evil. I was
Yeah.
gonna say assholes, but
Oh,
Evil assholes.
Claire. Oh,
yes, see,
you tell me.
As opposed to your common good asshole.
I heard.
I'm sorry.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
just, okay,
I'll go back to my hors d'oeuvres.
yes, please. My point is, we don't know which god she's championing or even what her motives are. If they have been split, then I don't know that we can just trust her or them.
That is the question,
I
isn't
don't-
it?
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't think there's any trusting her.
Yeah.
Not from what we've seen.
She
No.
chased us down in the woods.
We freed someone she
That's-
was torturing
that
from a
was-
home that she had. The person in the letter, they had signed it. What was her name again, Magda? Pip. That's who we found. We found this Pip strung
her
out
base-
in a
she-
basement in chains, tortured. Her mind was broken. Apparently, she was one of the people previously in the tomb. Now, we know from that letter, Kenny was one of the goblins in there. There's 4 people mentioned in the letter. Kenny, we destroyed that goblin
the
ghost. There was Flynn, that was the other ghost that we
other
faced.
ghost.
There
And
was
Ken Fury.
Pip, who was in the house, and Ken Fury. Now, Ken Fury we've been hearing news reports about he's wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we know he stole an artifact.
Onion
He stole something
syrup.
from the tomb. Yeah.
And there's 3, according to the answers, there were 3 artifacts stolen from the tomb. Going to
Before Ken, correct?
before Ken.
Or total.
That was the implication for sure.
Yeah, and it doesn't make quite so much sense. All the reading that I've done on the God's Inn says that the last time that the doors were open, the 4 families went in. They came out and the doors shut, and no one had been in there since. So clearly, I think we can assume that the
logical
gods are telling the truth, that they did take
It's families.
things,
Mhm.
but I mean that was so long ago. We don't. We're gonna have to figure out where they are, and it seems like Anthony might be able to help with that. So we might need to just not trust.
Anthony's going to be here
but-
soon.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
He's our
He's on his
best.
way.
He's our best contact for now. We'll.
Yes, I want to know what I sent him a letter earlier this week detailing what we found, and
Did you tell him everything?
I told him what was essential.
What do we not say though? We're
What's
bad
not
liars.
Oh,
We're
what's
really
not
bad.
essential? Yeah, I
Said anything
don't-
about the goblin we killed.
Okay, you do all the talking.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
I usually find that's best.
yeah, I get why you do that now.
I can just
She's good
pipe
at
up when you need backup or something, in terms of
I mean, you
communication.
You 3 were the ones who actually spoke to the book. So I think what you have to say on that and the responses you received are probably the most important. And this letter. And yeah, I hope he was busy. He said everything was in chaos. So I hope he'll have time to do some research for us. Give us some answers. I mean, because right now we put our trust in Anthony because we don't trust Rose, but in the end, I don't know that much about Anthony. He has been a decent person to me, as I've known in the past, but my experience with him has been relatively limited. So, what are his goals? He says he wants to save the world. What does that mean?
his world.
Exactly.
That makes it sound like maybe really we're gonna have to trust each other if we're gonna be the only 5 people that know all of what happened.
It seems over the heads of a watcher, a former GTA worker, and a ex just graduated.
Yeah,
Something else. We can have a heads up before shit goes to hell. And we can get out.
True, I guess we're not gonna be able to make a decision until we know more.
Hmm.
Well, you bring up a good point, Clara. If Anthony is not going to know everything, and we do, then we've got a legitimate reason to trust each other.
Yeah,
I will try to keep that in mind.
me too.
Thank you, Olivia.
See, we're all becoming friends.
That's going to be Anthony.
Yeah.
I'll get the door.
Okay.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session. It's a little short, but we did it without a DM.
Yeah.
This was pulled together on the fly in like 2 days. So
And we're so appreciative of you guys watching our creative little experiment. We will be back to regularly scheduled D&D all together, knowing a whole lot more about each other now. So please tune in on July 15th, where we will have our wonderful DM back, who's going to have to watch this back to see what we have changed in his world.
tell us everything he's disappointed in.
So thank you all for playing along in the chat and helping us with our technical difficulties. And we will see you next Wednesday. So smash that follow button, share this channel, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
See ya.
Are we out?